fire's fine.
Oh yeah,
Yeah?
I tell myself
Say what?
I'm gonna shine my light,
Me too.
and it'll be alright.
Come on, baby, show me your style.
How you doing?
It really makes me smile. Jump, jump, jump.
Jump into my life,
Into my
abandon fear and strife.
no more fear.
Wake up my desire, jump into the fire. I'm flying higher. Oh yeah,
Yeah?
I tell myself
Say what?
I'm gonna shine my light.
Me too.
Yeah, it'll be alright. I trust
Come on, baby, show me your style.
how you
It
do
really makes me smile.
take a leap. I'm gonna shine my light.
It's gonna be alright, 'cause
I trust God in me.
I'm a vagabond on a well-worn path of trials and tribulations. I've been blind to everything except what's wrong. I was caught between some heavy rocks and various hard places. I've been numb to everything except the pain. But my soul pushes through the din and darkness. With an open heart and mind, I begin to see I'm free to be all of me, because God has made me and God has given me all that I need to be free. I dance because I am joy, I love because I am love, I live because I am light, I shine because I am the light, I fly because I am freedom, I know because I am wisdom, I rise because I am power, I give because my cup is full. I'm free to be all of me, because God has made me and God has given me all that I need to be free. I dance because I am joy, I love because I am love, I live because I am life, I shine because I am the light, I fly because I am freedom, I know because I am wisdom, I rise because I am power, I give because my cup is full. I'm free to be all of me, because God has made me and God has given me all that I need to be free. God has given me.
We're in this building. I know you were in a big, giant, they called it the cave building before, but when we got here, they always sat in the second row next to Jesse, right there, those two empty seats right there. That's where they always sat. And for me, coming in as a new person from California, not knowing all of you, all I had to do was look at their faces and feel welcome and feel loved. They had such a unique ability to just be the presence of love. You know, there was no other words for them. And I felt like, oh, I really landed in a great place. Look at this couple. Moving forward a year or two, they would, even though Gordon was really having his issues with his memory, Golda would take him into the workshops afterwards downstairs. And the workshop leaders would say to me, "Who is that couple? Oh my God, they're so cute." And whenever there was like a moment where you would team up with someone, the way they looked into each other's eyes with such unconditional love. I always thought, I want to be them when I grow up. So it's really a blessing to open up this service for Gordon and Golda, and I'll start with a prayer. So with such great gratitude, grateful for this community, Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living, that's been here for more than 50 years. This idea, this concept, and for it to attract such beauty as in Golda and Gordon Olsen, to attract so many people that were like-minded, to attract them because of these teachings of love and compassion and kindness. How grateful I am for Ernest Holmes and his writing and all those other beautiful, magnificent ancestors and mystics that left us with these tools and gifts, a way to show up in life that really aligns with the Creator's gifts and resources and possibility of life. How grateful I am to know that there is only one power, one presence, one love. In this moment I call it God, God, and only God. And that God particle is in everything. It's in the trees and the mountains, in the snowflakes and raindrops. It's in the grains of sand and pebbles and stones and boulders. It's in the vast oceans and rivers. It's in every flying, slithering, hopping, walking, running being on this planet. It's also in every sentient being. We can never be separate from that which we are. We are love in form. We are light in form. We are God, Goddess in form, living and using our life, our talents, our gifts, our breath, our hands, our feet, to express itself through our lives right here and right now. And with no doubt, I know that was the purpose of Gordon and Golda Olsen. Through their voice, through their unconditional love, through their kindness, through their generosity, through their spirit. They came here and had such a beautiful spiritual family. They were the cornerstone for so many years of this place that we call our spiritual home. So that's what I know is happening here within this service. It is already blessed. It has already served all of us to have those memories and to hug each other, to love each other, and to continue that legacy of unconditional love that they brought so beautifully into this community. We continue on. We know that their legacy will never, ever leave us because they've left an imprint on all of our souls. And for those of us that are in this room that grieve the loss of them, we know that within that darkness, the light of love fills that dark space every time we tell a story. So that's what I know is happening here in this time. That's what I'm grateful for, answered prayer. And that's what I release into the law, knowing it's all God, it's all good, it's all love. And together we say, and so it is. All right, so I'm going to introduce Rick and Shemaine, you know, our fabulous musicians, and Gordon always wanted this particular song. I'll let Rick set that up, but take it away, Rick and Shemaine.
Yes, Gordon, especially the last few years, would come up to me alone, and he would kind of sneak a peek over his shoulder to make sure Golda wasn't too close, and ask me, "Hey, do you know Springtime in the Rockies?" And I'm, "No, I don't know that." "Well, you should learn that song." Several times that happened. I learned the song finally yesterday. This is an old Slim Whitman tune, and it was written back in the early 1920s, I think. It's a stretch for me, but if you can imagine Gordon singing this to Golda, that's what I do. When it's springtime in the Rockies, I am coming back to you, little sweetheart of the mountains, with your bonny eyes of blue. Once again, I'll say I love you, while the birds sing all the day. When it's springtime in the Rockies far away. When it's springtime in the Rockies, I am coming back to you, little sweetheart of the mountains, with your bonny eyes of blue. Once again, I'll say I love you, while the birds sing all the day. When it's springtime in the Rockies far away. Once again, I'll say I love you, in the Rockies far away.
What a sweet, sweet song for those two lovebirds. Always a good example for us, aren't they? Well, I first met them, Gordon and Golda, a long time ago, in 2006, in my home. They came for a political meeting, and after the meeting, when everybody was filing out, Golda was perusing the bookshelf and smiled at us and said, "You've got some really interesting spiritual books here." And so we talked until midnight about spirit. And after everyone left, excuse me, I had a problem with the printer. It wasn't long before they invited us to their Course in Miracles group, and we met at their house. We did that for at least 5 years, every week. And if they couldn't do it, we would do it at our house because there was other people in the group. And it was amazing because it's all about Jesus. It's all about love. It's all about peace and joy. Jesus' message. And it was fun and very different because it was from the psychological perspective, the philosophical perspective of where Jesus was coming from in consciousness. So it was very uplifting and opened our minds wider about who Jesus was. Even though we were raised Catholic and Methodist, it was really great. And it was really a blessing to get to know them better on so many levels about where they came from, their escapades in the Middle East with their children, and teaching at American University for Gordon and teaching the young ones for Golda. And not long after that, Gordon and Golda started talking about the Center for Spiritual Living. And since we were missing the Unity Church in Park City that had recently closed, we were ready for that. Well, elders really didn't want to drive 45 minutes to church every Sunday, so they could understand that, and I still wanted to go, so they invited me to go in their car. For months, maybe as long as a year, I went every Sunday with Gordon and Golda. And I would sit in the middle of the back seat and lean forward, and we were conversations all the time, getting to know each other, talking about spiritual things, and before you knew it, they were inviting me to go along, both of us to go along. I ended up being the one going for a 10-hour drive to Big Sky, Montana, where they have a New Thought retreat every summer, and Hildreth and I attended that for 3 or 4 more times until COVID hit, and they discontinued it. And it went on, I think, for 45 years. And part of the people that started it was people from Salt Lake Center for Spiritual Living. And, there was Unity people, there was other faith traditions there too. But the music was incredible with Michael God, if you can imagine. So we found new brothers and sisters, so to speak, in Gordon and Golda, and I'm just so happy that our life took that turn for the good, especially when we were bereft of our Unity Church, and especially because we got to know them better than any of you ever want to be known, because we saw them every week, It was really cool. I think there's one other thing. Many of us who knew Gordon, and many of you here knew him well enough to know that he was fun, and he had a mischievous sense of humor, and he always loved cookies, and always found himself at the treat table immediately after the service. So in his later years, he often abruptly broke into song, as many of you know, his favorite being Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, it did not have to be this season. It just was what came to mind first. And I love that because he had the joy, the childlike glee of a child when he sang it. And, it's been 90-some years, You felt like you were looking into the bright, shining eyes of a child, and you enjoyed it right along with him. You were there, looking at that shiny nose. And so this morning when I woke up, I started thinking about that song, and I realized that he was singing from a place of peace and joy within, and it was a safe place. He was connecting to his soulful self, a place that knows no boundaries, just like a child. And then it also dawned on me that I loved getting in the car with Gordon and Golda. I felt safe. I felt protected. I could say anything because I was shining my light in their magnificent love. Would somebody else like to speak?
So what we're going to do is have an open mic time, and we want you to come up here because remember we're streaming this. So keep it short though. That's why we have a potluck after. We can sit around and break some bread together after and tell stories. But who would like to come up and tell some? Oh, here comes Teresa. I liked it when Gordon would say, "You're my girlfriend." He said that to all the girls. Okay.
I'll be okay getting up. To get you down is my job.
I got you.
Well, when I met Gordon and Golda, I'm Teresa Martin, by the way, and I'm from Ireland. When I met Gordon and Golda, I remember the loving feeling I had from them because I had never been loved the way they loved. That was so unusual. That was so unusual for me coming from Ireland because we're a little bit stiff-minded or stiff-lipped. That's all I can say that way. But it was the invitation to go to their home in Heber. I thought, imagine bringing me out to Heber. Okay, we'll try that. And it was so amazing, such a magical home that was built by him. It was just phenomenal. I remember being there for some seminars in that big room down below, you know, the one with the seating all around. It was kind of like a dip in it. That was in the, I remember being in there. And it was so just amazing to have that love. And then what I've got here is I just pulled this out during the week. Excuse me for a minute. This particular picture. Does any of you remember that picture? They're like teenagers, and yet it was their 50th wedding anniversary. And that picture was 2010. And this was my invitation to the 50th anniversary party. And it was amazing because they had this cabin out the back that visitors could come to, and the garden and the flowers. I was stunned by the beauty and the love that I was given by this couple. It was just amazing. And I was out there so many, many times, and all it was a love fest because they were so open and loving in every situation that you were in. They were always there. So I'd love to have them here. And I just want to show you this picture. If any of you have, I just want to pass it around because it's so beautiful. I just want to let everyone see it. This is their 50th anniversary. Can you pass that around? Thank you. Anybody else like to make?
Well, I'm a relative newbie to the community. I came in 2012. I came to CSL in 2012, and my husband was trying to help me settle in and get to know people, and he says, "Oh, I really am excited to introduce you to Gordon and Golda. They're like the pillars of this community. They've been here 50 years, and they're like these cute old hippies. They're like the original hippies." And I'm like, all right, I'm going to like them. And, you know, I'm always here early to practice in the band, and then people are coming in, and I'd always sit and talk with them and give them a hug. And I have no idea what we talked about. I just remember how I felt. I just always felt loved and that they were fully present. And as I got to watch them get older and Gordon struggle with his brain health, it really just made me think of something somebody told me once, that, you know, a lot of us are afraid of growing older and losing our beauty or losing our minds. And somebody told me once, well, you never have to worry about losing your beauty because the older you get, the more your real soul shines through. Who you really are shows up on your face. And that's what I think of when I think of Golda. She was so, so beautiful. She was ageless. And what I think about Gordon, his personality just got more of what it was. And he was so playful. Every time I'd see him, he'd say, "Hey, do you know that song, You Are My Sunshine?" And he'd start singing it, and I'd just hold hands with him, and we'd sing it together, and he was so happy. But he'd forget me every time, because I'm a newbie, right? So he'd see me and Rick together, and he'd say, "Rick, who's this young lady? Nice job, Rick." Or he'd sit there and he'd look at me on stage and he'd say, he was just a delight.
I've known Gordon and Golden a long time, and everything that was said, I don't want to reiterate it. It's absolutely true. I want to speak to their generosity. My dad graduated Wayne State University in Detroit with a fine arts major, focus on architecture, minor in music, of course. I couldn't wait to show my dad Gordon and Golda's house in Heber. I thought it was just incredible how it came together, these extraneous pieces around the community, and they just kind of worked them into the house. It was fabulous. And being in that space, as was said, whether it was a retreat or just a party, you automatically felt welcomed, just stepping in through that front door. And of course, emphasized by the smiles. Gordon and Golda had beautiful smiles. In September of 2006, my mom and dad had their 50th anniversary, and I wanted them to come and we'd have a big family reunion. And I asked Gordon and Golda if we could rent their house. I've got 6 kids, my brother has 7 kids, my sister has 4 kids. We overwhelmed that house for an entire weekend, but it was just a perfect space to celebrate that, and I'm just so grateful. We made some magnificent memories, and I can't thank Gordon and Golda enough for that gift. It truly exhibited their generosity and their love and kindness and openness. I am blessed, so blessed by knowing them.
Well, I knew Gordon and Golda when Jason. Oh, I knew Gordon and Golda when Jason and Robert were little boys. And we did a lot of fun things together. We ate a lot of lentils because lentils were the in thing. So we did that. And we did a lot of yoga. And we had wonderful walks under the stars in Heber. And one night as we were out walking, I said, "Scotty, beam me down." And Gordon laughed so hard, he just couldn't stop. And I said, "What's so funny?" And he said, "Because everyone says, 'Scotty, beam me up.'" And Golda was the first person who ever, she went down to the cosmic airplane, and she said, "Get the Course of Miracles in. Get the Course of Miracles in." So we did the Course in Miracles, as I said, yoga, lentils, the Course in Miracles. And she also invited other traveling speakers to come and have a little workshop at her home. And one day we were all out with our silk-colored flyers running through the garden with our things. And it may have bothered some of the neighbors in Heber. So they met with her and said, Well, we're afraid that your friends are going to kidnap our children. And Golda said, believe me, none of these people want to raise your children. Yeah. So they were the best and the most spiritual and the most loving people you could ever know.
Certainly I didn't know Golda and Gordon quite as well as some others. However, I did get to know them. Whenever he saw me in church, he would call me Curly. But he could also be remembered as being an avid recycler, because their whole house, or as much as was possible, was recycled items they had found at the junkyard. I also do recall years ago, the Centers for Spiritual Living used to put out a theme that was going to be that for the year. And Gordon would also do a tessellation that included that theme. And it was hanging up especially out at the skating rink, as they called it. He would have, those tessellations were there to share with the rest of the people. I also know that Golda and Gordon were very much involved with a Fine Arts Center up at the University of Utah. And as a matter of fact, were Olsen's up there for many years. So I know that their love of art, their love of music, their love of life. It was so great to be there, to be with them, to be aware of them. Like I said, whenever he called me Curly, I'd call him Joe or one of the other Three Stooges. Anyway.
I'm Jason, their fourth son. Public speaking, not my jam. But I was in bed a couple weeks ago, and I said, if you don't speak at this event or another event that honoring Golda and Gordon, you're definitely going to regret that. So as I'm having this conversation with myself, I said, well, you're going to need to call on some kind of source to make this happen. And that's basically what I'm doing now, what I do when I think of my parents. I was raised with this belief system since I was a child. I've come to this church in the different addresses it's maintained for years, 40 years, easily. Have no excuse to be a victim, to have life go a way that I don't appreciate, because I have parents that would always say, well, you can just change your thinking. And you're like, yeah, dang, that's right, okay. But the main reason I'm up here today, I mean, obviously, I just want to let everyone know how grateful I am for my folks to have a community like this to always go to. As a part of someone's life, I think that brings energy, love, joy, and connections that maybe had them live as long as they did. I'm blessed to have two parents that always accepted me, believed in me, and like was said before, was an inspiration of love and light to me constantly. I'm so grateful for everyone here, and like I said, this center, and to share fun memories about their life. Thank you.
Anyone else? You know, I wanted to say this. When I first got here, Golda invited me into their home. Not the Heber home. Their last home here in Salt Lake. And what she wanted me to do was talk to her about what a celebration of life would look like for both of them. And I was like, yeah, absolutely. I get to know these people. So I walked in the home and I got to see the beautiful artwork, Gordon's artwork, Golda's artwork. And what we ended up doing was we visioned on what they wanted to happen for their celebration, and we had a party for them. Was it 2 years ago now? 2 years ago. We had a party, a celebration of life while they were here, so that we could tell them all how much we loved, respected, enjoyed them. And I think everyone should have something like that, right? Instead of waiting until they've passed on. So I just felt, again, so accepted as the new kid immediately by them, and that they wanted to talk to me about how they wanted that to go. And I'm excited because the song that Rick and Shemaine did was something Gordon told Rick about, but the other song they're going to do is what they both told me. This is our favorite CSL song. This is our favorite. They said, we want to make sure that's the song that's played. So anyway, if no one else has anything to share on the mic, again, afterwards when we're eating, keep the stories coming. But we have a reading from Reverend Linda here, and maybe she'll start with whatever she wants to say and then do the reading. Come on up.
Is there another way to say that I've never in my whole life witnessed more loving human beings than Golda and Gordon? They are spirit incarnate, and their love for each other just spilled out into everybody, and there were no strangers in the world to them. And their love for each other was just the most amazing thing. So when it was decided that I was going to do a reading, I went looking for a reading that I thought kind of reflected that love that they had for each other. And I was reminded that one of the blessings of Gordon's, what was one of you said, brain health challenges, was that after Golda died, if he didn't remember, if he wasn't reminded of that, he was just his same happy-go-lucky self, and then he would have moments when he would remember she was gone, and he was devastated. And I remember one Sunday, shortly after she had died, and Jason and Ashley brought him here, and they played the song Dance, and I looked over, and he was just crying. It reminded him she was gone, and that was the experience that led me to choose this poem that I'm going to read. So this is adapted from a poem called Eternal Devotion by W.T. Bacalar. Devoted to his sweetheart, he stood close by her side. He held her hand through good and bad. His love he could never hide. When they had children together, he upheld his part. He held their hands through good and bad and loved them with all his heart. Through all their years together, he doted on his bride. He held her hand through good and bad, staying ever close by her side. Then, when her body weakened, he wished she could be strong. He held her hand through good and bad, but knew they wouldn't have long.
Devoted to his sweetheart, he loved this woman so. He held her hand before she died and struggled to let her go. Then to himself he whispered, when I get to the other side, I'll hold your hand through eternity. Forever you are my bride. And so, as much as I know that we all really miss Golda and Gordon being here, and it brings me great joy to think that they are together for all eternity, holding hands. And the love that flowed between them flowed out into the world, and I think they would want us to carry that on. The love that they shared more than 65 years together. So I just want to say thank you, Golda and Gordon, for blessing my life with the radiance of your beautiful spirits. My life is forever better for having known you. And so now Rick and Shemaine are going to sing that song that we've all talked about that they loved so much.
This song was written by Rick, and we do have a nice studio recording of it, so any of you family members, if you don't have it, I'd love to know that so I can get that to you if you'd like.
It's a simple song too, so feel free to sing along. I imagine Golda and Gordon dancing together in this song. I'm gonna go with the moment. I'm gonna feel so free. I'm gonna dance to the rhythm of the universe. Gonna lead my destiny. I'm gonna go with the moment. I'm gonna feel so free. I'm gonna dance to the rhythm of the universe. Gonna lead my destiny. I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna dance to the rhythm of the universe. Gonna lead my destiny. I'm gonna go with the moment. I'm gonna feel so free. I'm gonna dance to the rhythm of the universe. Gonna lead my destiny. I'm gonna go with the moment. I'm gonna feel so free. I'm gonna dance to the rhythm of the universe. Gonna lead my destiny. I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna dance. I'm gonna dance to the rhythm of the universe. Gonna lead my destiny. I'm gonna dance to the rhythm of the universe. Gonna lead my destiny.
Wow. Can you feel the love in the room? Can you feel them here? They're not gone. They'll never be gone. So let's pray together in this moment and in every moment. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for knowing them. I'm grateful for the example that they were to me, to all of us, about love and caring and sharing. They lightened all of our lives. And so in this moment I know they will always be with me. We call upon the divine right now, in and as each of us, to remember that we are all one. That life is good. That it never ends. And that we are all richer for having them in our lives. Thank you, Gordon. Thank you, Golda, for who you've been and who you are. So we release the prayer and we move forward in love, in caring and sharing of each other and the world. And let it be, as together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, everybody. So there's potluck in the other room. Grab a plate. Keep telling stories about Golda and Gordon, and thank you for being here.